So it was storytelling time, and let's continue that. Sainam beta. बेटा उसके लिए स्कूल से डेट बताएंगे कि अब आप लोगों का टेस्ट लेना है, तो जब मुझे बताएंगे मैं आपको बता दूंगी। आप तैयारी रखिए पूरी। इस क्लास में मैंने टेराकोटा सोल्जर्स वाला वीडियो दिखाया था क्या? एनीबडी रिमेम्बर्स चाइनीज टेराकोटा सोल्जर्स? ओके, तो जब तक बाकी लोग ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं एक वीडियो दिखाती हूँ मैं आप लोगों को। आई होप यू विल लाइक इट।
What happens after death? Is there a restful paradise? An eternal torment? A rebirth? Or maybe just nothingness? Well, one Chinese emperor thought that whatever the hereafter was, he'd better bring an army. We know that because in 1974, farmers digging a well near their small village stumbled upon one of the most important finds in archaeological history: vast underground chambers surrounding that emperor's tomb and containing more than 8,000 life-size clay soldiers ready for battle. The story of this subterranean army begins with Ying Zheng, who came to power as the king of the Qin state at the age of 13 in 246 BCE. Ambitious and ruthless, he would go on to become Qin Shi Huangdi, the first emperor of China, after uniting its 7 warring kingdoms. His 36-year reign saw many historic accomplishments, including a universal system of weights and measures, a single standardized writing script for all of China, and a defensive barrier that would later come to be known as the Great Wall. But perhaps Qin Shi Huang dedicated so much effort to securing his historical legacy because he was obsessed with his mortality. He spent his last years desperately employing alchemists and deploying expeditions in search of elixirs of life that would help him achieve immortality. And as early as the first year of his reign, he began the construction of a massive underground necropolis filled with monuments, artifacts, and an army to accompany him into the next world and continue his rule. This magnificent army is still standing in precise battle formation and is split across several pits. One contains a main force of 6,000 soldiers, each weighing several hundred pounds. A second has more than 130 war chariots and over 600 horses. And a third houses the high command. An empty fourth pit suggests that the grand project could not be finished before the emperor's death. In addition, nearby chambers contain figures of musicians and acrobats, workers and government officials, and various exotic animals, indicating that Emperor Qin had more plans for the afterlife than simply waging war. All the figurines are sculpted from terracotta, or baked earth, a type of reddish-brown clay. To construct them, multiple workshops and reportedly over 720,000 laborers were commandeered by the emperor, including groups of artisans who molded each body part separately to construct statues as individual as the real warriors in the emperor's army. They stand according to rank and feature different weapons and uniforms, distinct hairstyles and expressions, and even unique ears. Originally, each warrior was painted in bright colors, but their exposure to air caused the paint to dry and flake, leaving only the terracotta base. It is for this very reason that another chamber less than a mile away has not been excavated. This is the actual tomb of Qin Shi Huangdi, reported to contain palaces, precious stones and artifacts, and even rivers of mercury flowing through mountains of bronze. But until a way can be found to expose it without damaging the treasures inside, the tomb remains sealed. Emperor Qin was not alone in wanting company for his final destination. Ancient Egyptian tombs contain clay models representing the ideal afterlife. The dead of Japan's Kofun period were buried with sculptures of horses and houses, and the graves of the Jana Island off the Mexican coast are full of ceramic figurines. Fortunately, as ruthless as he was, Emperor Qin chose to have servants and soldiers built for this purpose, rather than sacrificing living ones to accompany him, as had been practiced in Egypt, West Africa, Anatolia, parts of North America, and even China during the previous Shang and Zhou dynasties. And today, people travel from all over the world to see these stoic soldiers silently awaiting their battle orders for centuries to come.
So what do you feel about it? Any thoughts? They were life size. Let me show you a picture. Can you see this? They look like this. This is the formation they've been found. They're standing like this with different facial expressions and all. They're all life size. Line se lage hue hain as if they are ready to march. That is the beauty of this thing. That's a close up. ये सब 5.5-6 फुट के हैं. like this.
Ma'am, why is it
Rows and rows of these soldiers. No, this was the whole idea that after life, that after the death, the emperor wanted to have his army with him. देखो ये सब ना फैसिनेशन है ऑफ द ह्यूमन काइंड की जिंदगी के बाद क्या है. दिस गोज देयर कि मर जाऊंगा उसके बाद भी बिकॉज आई एम एन एम्परर तो मेरे पास आर्मी होनी चाहिए. सो ही प्रिपेयर्ड हिज होल आर्मी, हिज होल कोर्ट out of terracotta. The soldiers are where they were found, बट जैसा इसमें ये बताया गया है कि उसको जैसे ही चेम्बर को खोला उसका कलर निकल गया. स्टोन से नहीं बेटा, मिट्टी से बनाया हुआ है. टेराकोटा एक तरीके की मिट्टी होती है, मिट्टी को बेक करके बनाते हैं. जैसे पॉट्स बनाया करते थे ना पहले. यस यस, इट वाज वेरी कॉमन एट दैट टाइम. हमारे यहाँ जो जितने भी पुराने अर्दन पॉट है, पहले खाना इन्हीं में बना करता था. स्टील में खाना बनना बहुत बाद में चालू हुआ है. इट्स नॉट अ ब्लॉक, इट्स बेसिकली मिट्टी के अंदर चीजें मिलाते हैं ताकि वो थोड़ी हार्डन हो जाए. Okay, so let's get back to our activity, the storytelling one. And अभिषेक धाकड़, आपकी स्टोरी बाकी है.
Yes, ma'am. मैम स्टार्ट करें.
बेटा आपकी आवाज बहुत कट कट के आ रही है, थोड़ा सा नेटवर्क एरिया में आओ.
यस मैम. यस मैम. मैम अब स्टार्ट करें.
हाँ करो.
I tell Mirabai story. Mirabai was great follower of Lord Krishna. Despite facing criticism and aversion from her own family, she lived an idle, saintly life and composed many devotion bhajan. Because of that, Mira's father married her to Prince Bhoj Raj, eldest son of Rana Sang of Chittor. At an early age, Mira unwillingly married Bhoj Raj in 1516, and even after her marriage, Mira continued her worship for Lord Krishna. Warrior Bhoj Raj died after some time in 1516, and Mira's father-in-law Rana Sang say her husband that as would get rid of her. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
मैम मेरी स्टोरी बची थी.
बेटा ये 2-3 लाइन की स्टोरी थोड़ी होती है.
नो मैम, मैं
इस पे आपको अच्छे नंबर तो नहीं मिलेंगे. यस अभिषेक यादव, आपने भी स्टोरी नहीं सुनाई है. गो अहेड.
मैम वो मैंने हिंदी में किया है ना, मैं हिंदी में बता दूं.
ठीक है चलो बताओ.
मैं आज अलाउद्दीन खिलजी की स्टोरी सुनाने वाला हूँ. अलाउद्दीन खिलजी का वास्तविक नाम अली गुरशद था. दिल्ली सल्तनत के खिलजी वंश का दूसरा शासक था. उसका ज, ज, अफगानिस्तान से लेकर उत्तर प्रदेश भारत तक फैला था। उसके बाद इतना बड़ा भारतीय साम्राज्य लोग तक कोई भी सत्ता स्थापित नहीं कर पाया था। मेवाड़ चित्तौड़ का युद्धत्रक अभियान इतिहास की एक महत्वपूर्ण घटना है। ऐसा माना जाता है कि वो चित्तौड़ की रानी पद्मिनी की सुंदरता पर मोहित था। इसका परिणाम मलिंग मुहम्मद जैफी ने अपनी राजना पद्वत में किया है। इसके समय में उत्तर पूर्व से मंगोल आक्रमण भी हुए। उसने इसका भी डटकर सामना किया। अलाउद्दीन खिलजी के बचपन का नाम अली गुरसफ था। अलाउद्दीन खिलजी के तख्त पर बैठने के बाद उसे अमीर-ए-तुजुक का पद मिला। मलिक थज्जू के विद्रोह को दबाने में महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभाने के बाद जलालुद्दीन ने उसे खड़ा मणिकपुर की सूबेदारी सौंप दी। भिलासा चंदेरी एवं देवनागरी के सफल अभियानों से प्राप्त अपार धन ने उसकी स्थिति और मजबूत कर दी। साईराम।
भारती मीटिंग में नहीं है, ठीक है। प्रशांत, पंक्ति,
यस मैम।
यस योर टर्न, स्टोरी टेलिंग।
मैम बट मैंने तो पिछली क्लास में बोली थी।
क्या टॉपिक था तुम्हारा?
मैम मेरा टॉपिक था चैप्टर 10 हिस्ट्री।
बेटा स्टोरी टेलिंग की बात कर रही हूँ। आपने मुझे अभी तक कोई स्टोरी नहीं सुनाई है। आपने ये बताया आप प्रेजेंटेशन किस टॉपिक पे बनाएंगी।
नो मैम मैंने सुनाई थी और आपको वीडियो भी सेंड करा था
अरे तो
व्हाट्सएप पर।
मुझे याद तो दिलाओ, तुम टॉपिक क्या था? चैप्टर 10 कोई टॉपिक थोड़ी था। स्टोरी का
मैम एक
टाइटल
सेकेंड
याद?
मैम, 1 सेकेंड मैम। मैंने न्यू किंग्स एंड किंगडम्स पे बनाया था।
बेटा मैं स्टोरी का टाइटल पूछ रही हूँ तुम्हारी। स्टोरी का टाइटल क्या था?
मैम 1 मिनट। मैम मैंने इसमें वो बनाया था रिलीजन एंड एम्पायर। मैम उसमें मैंने वो वाली स्टोरी, वो वाला पार्ट बताया था रिलीजन एंड एम्पायर में।
कौन सा पार्ट बताया था?
रिलीजन एंड एम्पायर।
कैन एनीबडी रिमाइंड मी इसकी स्टोरी का टाइटल क्या था? एनीवन?
मैम रिलीजन एंड एम्पायर।
कब सुनाई थी बेटा तुमने मुझे?
मैम पिछली क्लास में।
ठीक है, मैं देखती हूँ।
यस मैम।
Fine. Prashant, Ram,
Yes, ma'am.
your turn.
Yes, ma'am. Om Shri Sai Ram. My name is Ram Parasar of class 7th A. I am telling a story. Introduction of Maharana Pratap. Maharana Pratap is a name worth remember to begin one's day with. His name is engraved with gold among the list of valiant kings who protected the nation, dharma, culture and freedom of this country by sacrificing his life. This is a holy remembrance of his valor. Who does not know the name of the great king of Mewar, Maharana Pratap Singh? In the history of India, this name has allowed provide to be motivation for qualities like valor, valor, sacrifice, and matter. Many brave warriors like Rana Hamid, Rana Sangh were born into Sisodia family of Mewar and were given the little of Rana, but the little of Maharana was only bestowed on Pratap Singh. Maharana Pratap was born in 1540. Rana Uday Singh, the second of Mewar, had 33 children. Among them, the eldest was Pratap Singh. Self-respected and virtuous behavior were the main qualities of Pratap Singh. Maharana Pratap was bold and brave right from his childhood, and everyone was sure that he was going to be a very valiant person as he grew up. He was more interested in sports and learning to wield weapons rather than general education. During Maharana Pratap Singh's time, Akbar was the ruler in Delhi. His policy was to make us of the strength of Hindu kings to bring other Hindu kings under his control. Many Rajput kings abandoning their glorious traditions and fighting spirit sent their daughters and daughters-in-law to the harem of Akbar, with the purpose of gaining rewards on honor from Akbar. Uday Singh appointed before his death Jagamma, Jagammal, the son of his youngest wife and his dear. Although Pratap Singh was elder to Jagambal, but he was ready to give up his rights like Prabhu Ramchandra and go away from Mewar, but the Shalfide did not at all agree with their king's decisions. Besides, they were of the opinion that Jagambal did not possess qualities like courage and self-respect which were essential in a leader and king. Hence, it was cultivately decided that Jagambal would have to sacrifice the throne. Maharana Pratap Singh to gave due respect to the wish of the Chalfante and the people and accepted the responsibility of leader of the people of Mewar. Maharana Pratap's enemies had surrounded Mewar at all its boundaries. Sakti Singh and Jagambal, the two brothers of Maharana Pratap, had joined Akbar. The first problem was to gather enough soldiers to fight a face-to-face war which would have required vast money, but Maharana Pratap's coffers were immense empty, whereas Akbar had a large army, a lot of wealth, and a lot more at the disposal. Maharana Pratap, however, did not get distracted or lose heart, nor did he, he ever say that he was weak as compared to Akbar. Maharana Pratap's only concern was to immediately free his free his motherland from the cultures of the Mughals. One day he called a meeting of his trust sufficient and made an appeal to them in his serious and lustrous speech. He said, "My brave warrior brothers, your motherland, this holy land of Mewar, is still under the culture to the Mughal. Today I take an oath in front of all of you that till Chittor is freed, I will not have food in gold and silver plates, will not sleep on a soft bed, and will not stay in the palace. Instead, I will eat food on a leaf platter, sleep on the floor, and stay in a hut. I will also not shave till Chittor is freed. My brave warriors, I am sure that you will support me in every way, sacrificing your mind, body, and wealth till this oath is fulfilled. All these chieftains were inspired with the oath of their king, and they to promise him that till their last drop of blood they would help Rana Pratap Singh to free Chittor and join him in fighting the Mughals. They would not retreat from their goal. They ensured him, "Rana, be sure that we all with you, waiting only for your signal, and we are ready to sacrifice your life." Akbar tried to best to bring Maharana Pratap under his culture, but all in vain. Akbar got angry as no composers could be arrived at Maharana Pratap, and he declared a war. Maharana Pratap also started preparation. He shifted his capital to Kumbhalgarh in the Aravalli range of mountains, which was difficult to access. Maharana Pratap recruited tribal people and people dwelling in forest in his army. These people had no experience of fighting any war, but he trained them. He appealed to all Rajput aspirants to come under on flag for Mewar independence. Maharana Pratap army of 22,000 soldiers meet 2 lakh soldiers of Akbar at Haldi Ghat. Maharana Pratap and his soldiers exhibited great valor in this battle, although he had to restrict, but Akbar's army was not successful in completely defeating Rana Pratap. Maharana Pratap and his faithful horse named Chetak also became important in this battle. Chetak was seriously injured in the Battle of Haldi Ghat, but to save his master's life, it jumped over a big canal. As soon as the canal was crossed, Chetak fell down and died. Thus, it saved Rana Pratap, risking its own life. The strong Maharana cried like a child over the death of his faithful horse. Later, he constructed a beautiful garden at the place where Chetak had breathing its last. Then Akbar himself attacked Maharana Pratap, but ever after 6 months of fighting the battle, Akbar could not defeat Maharana Pratap and went back to Delhi. As a last resort, Akbar sent another great warrior, General Jagannath, in the year 1584 with a huge army to Mewar, but after trying relentlessly for 2 years, even he could not catch Rana Pratap. Thank you, ma'am.
बेटा थोड़ा टाइम लिमिट का ध्यान रखा करो. It was good, but it was too long. And yes, I also saw the recording, and she did not tell her story. So Pankti, what do you have to say about this? हम सब ने वीडियो भी देखा, आपने कोई स्टोरी नहीं सुनाई. अब बताओ क्या किया जाए. Yes, Pankti, can you hear me? कुछ कहना चाहती हो तो कहो। अगर और कोई मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग है तो बताओ।
मैम अगर आपको वीडियो में मेरी स्टोरी नहीं मिलती तो मैं आपको नेक्स्ट क्लास में वो रिपीट कर दूंगी।
बेटा ऐसा थोड़ी होता है कि वीडियो में नहीं मिलती है तो मैं वीडियो देख चुकी हूँ, और अगर वो वीडियो में नहीं है तो फिर कहाँ है, क्योंकि पूरी क्लास रिकॉर्ड होती है। तो या तो तुम ये बताओ तुमने किसी और डेट पे सुनाई थी तो मुझे वो याद दिलाओ।
मैम मैंने सुनाई
लास्ट
थी
क्लास 14 को थी, 14 का वीडियो मैंने देख लिया।
मैम बट मैंने
अगर तुमने किसी और दिन सुनाई है मैं उसका वीडियो भी एक बार और देख।
मैम बट
बेटा मैं नहीं मना कर रही हूँ, लेकिन डेट बताओ, डेट बताओ मुझे कब सुनाई है तुमने।
मैम मुझे डेट तो पता नहीं, पर मैम उस दिन नेटवर्क बहुत ही ज्यादा गड़बड़ था तो मैं 4 बार स्टोरी सुनाते सुनाते मीटिंग से लेफ्ट हो गई थी।
तुम मुझे वीडियोस में देख के मुझे बताओ तुमने किस डेट को सुनाई है, मुझे मिल जाएगा, मैं उसे एक्सेप्ट कर लूंगी। ठीक है, सारी पुरानी क्लास के वीडियो देखो, मुझे डेट बताओ कि किस डेट पे तुमने सुनाई है।
यस मैम। और मैम नहीं मिला तो?
ठीक है, नहीं मिला तो फिर हम उसको बाद में टैकल करेंगे, क्योंकि क्लास में ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है जो रिकॉर्ड नहीं हुआ है।
ओके मैम। मैम
ओके, यू हैव सेंट मी द लिंक, इज दिस द वन? ठीक है
मैम।
ये
मैम
कब की है रिकॉर्डिंग? दिस इज 14 राइट? आई सॉ दिस रिकॉर्डिंग ऑलरेडी, आई नो इसमें नहीं है पंक्ति की स्टोरी।
मैम
नहीं, वो खुद देख के बताएगी। शी रिमेम्बर्स व्हेन शी सेड द स्टोरी, तो वो मुझे देख के बताएगी। बाकी लोग इस चीज की टेंशन नहीं लें।
यस मैम।
Is anybody has anything else to say?
मैम
Soumya, you already told the story.
मैम मैं शशांक। नो मैम आई डिडंट।
बाबर की स्टोरी सुनाई है तुमने, और पिछली ही क्लास में सुनाई है। अभी
मैम
तो रिव्यू किया मैंने।
मैम मैंने 1-2 लाइन सुना के मेरी लेफ्ट हो गई थी।
ओके ओके फाइन, ठीक है, नेक्स्ट क्लास में सुनाना फिर तुम।
ओके मैम।
क्योंकि आज का टाइम हो गया है। हाँ शशांक बोलो। पता है मुझे तुमने कुछ तैयार नहीं किया है, तुम्हें टाइम लगेगा, कर लेना अगली क्लास में तैयार। मैं नाम बता दे रही हूँ जिन लोगों की अभी तक मेरे पास स्टोरी नहीं आई है।
तो मेरी स्टोरी वो महाराणा
मेरे पास
प्रताप।
दैट इज नॉट माई प्रॉब्लम। मैंने तुम लोगों से कहा था कि ना स्टोरी यूनिक होनी चाहिए। तुम लोग एक ही जगह से स्टोरी उठाकर ले आओगे तो वो कॉमन हो ही जाएगी। ये बुक्स से लेकर आ रहे हो, उसमें से रीड कर रहे हो, मुझे पता है, दिख रहा है। पंक्ति, प्रशांत, संदेश, पंक्ति बताएगी मुझे है या नहीं है। प्रशांत, संदेश, साराक्षी, सार्थक, शशांक, विपुल, इन लोगों की स्टोरी अभी बाकी है। तो नेक्स्ट क्लास में इन लोगों की स्टोरी लेके, और सौम्या, इन लोगों की स्टोरी लेके खत्म करेंगे इस एक्टिविटी को। सो दैट विल, नहीं बेटा अभी आज की क्लास हो गई, अगली क्लास में लेती हूँ आपकी स्टोरी साथ। तो मैं बोल तो रही हूँ बेटा, अगली क्लास में सुनूंगी ना मैं आपकी स्टोरी सौम्या, मना थोड़ी कर रही हूँ। सो दैट विल बी ऑल फॉर टुडे। थैंक यू एंड सायरा।
सायरा मैम।
सायरा
सायरा मैम।